Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell, and in today's video, we're going to dive into the concept of an operations system. So, at the heart of every good or service that's produced is what we call an operations system. And this system is about transforming inputs into a final output that is ready to be sold to customers. Now, there are three key elements in every operations system, and they are the inputs, processes, and outputs. And it's important that you use those terms inputs, processes, and outputs. Now, no matter what type of good or service is being produced, these three elements will have been used to create it. So, what we're going to do is break down each one of those elements. So the first element of the operation system are the inputs, and inputs are the resources used in production. So they can include things like materials, the facilities where the good or service is being produced, machinery or equipment that's being used, human resources, which are the employees that are conducting the work to produce the product. Another resource could be information as well as time. Now, whether it's a physical good that's being produced or an intangible service that's being produced, these inputs are used to produce the final product, all the resources that are used to produce that good or service. The next element, we have the processes, and these are all the activities that transform the inputs into the final output, that final product. So, a business takes all of the resources that we mentioned in the previous slide and then performs a whole range of different actions that are going to transform those inputs into the final product. And depending on the type of product that's being produced, will depend on the type of processes that are being used. But these processes can impact the quality of the product, its price, how quickly it's actually produced, how much wastage is produced, as well as it can impact safety within the business. And the final element of our operation system are the outputs, and they are the final good or services that are produced and ready to be sold to customers. So, manufacturing businesses produce tangible outputs, which means that they can be touched or handled, like a piece of clothing or a pair of shoes, while a service business produces intangible outputs, meaning they can't be touched or handled. For example, could be taking a flight overseas. And what you'll find is that most businesses will actually produce both goods and services. Now, the quality of the output will depend on the quality of the inputs that are used, as well as the quality of the processes that are used to transform those inputs into the final output. Now, to demonstrate the operation system in action, let's take a look at a couple of examples. First, we've got a manufacturing business. We've got Uncle Toby's and their breakfast oats. Now, the inputs would include things like the actual oats, sachets, boxes, machinery that they use, could be the facilities in which they're rolled and put into the boxes, employees that are conducting the work, time, and any information. Whereas the processes would involve storing of the oats, dehulling and cleaning of the oats, so cooking them through the kilns, rolling them so that they're rolled oats, and then doing quality checks and finally packaging them. And then the final output is the boxed breakfast oats, which you see in the supermarkets. So that's a manufacturing business. Let's look at a service business example. For example, H&R Block, which provides an accounting service and tax advice to customers. Now, inputs would include, again, the facilities and the human resources, and it may rely more heavily on the human resources here for the accountants to do the work and the admin staff. Could be any equipment or information. Now, the information would include the tax legislation and as well as information from the clients and time for the consultation. Processes, well, they would be consulting with the clients and calculating tax returns and then submitting the tax summaries to the Australian Tax Office. And the output, well, that's the completed and submitted tax return for the client to the Australian Tax Office. So, as you can see, it doesn't matter whether it is a manufacturing business or a service business, whatever output is produced, it goes through these three elements in the operation system. So, just to recap, the operation system has three key elements. It's got the inputs, processes, and outputs. Those inputs are those resources used, not just raw materials, they are all the resources used to produce a particular good or service. The processes are all the activities that transform those inputs into the outputs. And finally, the output is that final good or service that is to be produced. So that's it for this video. Can't wait to see you in the next video where we're going to look at the operations for both manufacturing businesses and service businesses and see how they differ. In the meantime, just remember that for questions, activities, and help in your VCE journey, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.